dude's doing some tugging. We're about to get a look at him. See if this camera's recording. Yeah, our main camera's acting crazy here. I don't think it's running, but we do got one going right here. I love these fish, man. They just bulldog and they don't give up. You get him up there where you can see you float. I see your bubbles coming up here now. He's getting in his last hurrah. He won't give me a look at him. Not a bad flat, not no giant, but not a bad one. Sat him. Sat that dude. Not a bad looking fish, man. Alright, let's put him over in here. Yep, we got him in here. Whew! He put up a pretty good little fight there. Not a bad fish. The main camera's not acting just right over here. I don't know where it recorded or not, but I know I ain't got a flashing light, so usually that means that it's not working. We're gonna pull him up out of here. Gonna require some pliers. This guy's hooked right up in the top of the hook, the pad right there. Come on, my friend. There you go. Not a bad one. Not a bad little flatty. What y'all think? We'll take him to get the day started out. We've been out about probably an hour this morning before it got light. I decided I was going to try to fish out in front of some of these lit docks and see if we could get on a fish where all this bait was stacked up. But it's not a bad start to the day. I'm Mark, and I'd like to welcome you to Whisker Pigs Fishing. Come along, we're going to fish on Lake Greenwood today. We are in this I call it the pre-fall transition, where the fish are just starting to move around and getting where they're biting a lot better. So we're going to put this guy back in here and fish on and see what we can do today. Y'all come along with me. All right, my friend. We appreciate you, man. He just takes right off. That's some good stuff. I don't care who you are. That's some good stuff there. That fish hit a piece of brim, I believe. He took it off. I'm pretty sure that was a piece of fillet bluegill. But we're off to a good start here. See what we can do with this camera up here, and we'll see what we're gonna get today. That's a good way to start the morning out. I don't care who you are. Yeah guys, I'm gonna try to share something with you. I don't know if the light's gonna let us see it or not. I'm fishing this float, just a float rig, probably 4 or 5 feet deep, with a live brim on it. And this brim's been hit by a flathead. Killed him dead as a mallet, but he didn't get hooked up. I'm gonna try to show you how close he came to getting hooked up. Let me grab the light. If you'll look right here, you'll see where the fish grabbed him. Flathead grabbed this fish right here, and he scaled him. You can see where the scales are pulled off the fish right there. You can see where his mouth had a hold of him right here. So he actually, let me get the light on my head here where I won't have to hold it. Try to show you right here. He actually had a hold of this fish right across here. Just barely missed the hook, but he pulled the scales off of it. You can actually see the little bite mark right here. It was close, but no cigar. I like to fish these things on top on these floats, good sized brim. Let them just pull around a little bit, because these fish, they moving up and down in the water column right now, chasing this bait. And I know you can't see it on the camera, but the bait is, they thick out here. I'm sitting in between 2 lit piers. One's got a street light on it right over here. I'm pretty sure you can see that one, and it's another one that's down to the water. You can't hardly see the light on it, but it congregates the bait. And I got here this morning around 5, and it's getting light about 6:15 or so. So we sat here a little over an hour before it got light, and it's a good technique. Patriot James sent me some floats the other day, Patriot floats. Check him out on Facebook, and they work really well. I just hadn't cut these off to tie them on yet. These are some I made myself. This is just a little tip. I don't know if he's swimming at us or he just ain't as big as I thought he was. Something going on though. This may be a channel here. I can feel him rolling around down there. Most of the time, these flatheads don't do that. Alright guys, let's get you turned so you can see what's going on here. We'll put this dude in the boat. I think this is a nice channel cat, really. I do believe it's a good sized channel. Set him up. Got him in the bag. The only bad thing about the net is that sucker can tangle everything in the whole place up. And I don't know about your net, but mine ties some of the best knots ever seen. It don't play. It must have went to school or something to learn how to tie these knots. That sucker's always trying to give you a fit. This is one of these unicorns. DNR tells us there's not any blues in this lake. I'm pretty sure though, that's a blue right there. Look at that tail. Straight, no curve. If I ain't a blue cat, I ain't never saw one. But DNR, they promise us over and over that there's not any in here. Somebody put some in here, that's what I think. Alright, we're gonna put it back in. That's a nice old girl though, what you think? Thank you, ma'am, we appreciate it. Tell your buddies. Tell your children. Yeah, that fish hit a santee rig. Got a piece of white perch on it. Piece of white perch. We fishing a 8 offset circle hook, little float, probably 3 inches from the hook, sinker slide with a bead to protect the knot, 40-pound Andy Monster line, 50-pound Cast King leader material, and we're fishing with one of these fine pieces of ugly stick. I keep saying I'm gonna get more rods, but I enjoy the fight, man. These rods are a little light. I don't throw a whole lot of weight, only reservoir fish, and they seem to do the job pretty good. We're fishing a Peachy Fun KIS 50. Go on back out there and get us one, big dog. Alright, we got them back out here, got the timer reset. We're gonna set and try it again, see what we can get out of it. Y'all stay tuned. Well guys, we're gonna try to pull up on this flat back in, see can we catch a channel cat. That slam off of Lake Greenwood is something that you rarely ever do. I mean, it's not many blues in here, so when I catch one, I usually try to hunt me down a channel cat and see can I make it fill out. We got a flathead this morning, they're blue. We're gonna see can we find us a channel back up on one of these flats right here and see can we fill that thing out. We got about another hour and a half before we're gonna have to leave out, but maybe we'll get one up. That joker's putting a pull on it. Let's see if this might not be a channel cat before I try for the big Greenwood Slam. That thing's about rare as lips on a chicken, what I'm talking about. Get her planer board off. Got to keep a little tension on the thing. It's actually got a hold of it, man. Yep, we got a little channel right here. I don't usually net a little fish like this, but we got him. That will be, oh, stuff over here, man. I don't know where he kept it or not. We trying to get this fish off and didn't get that one. Look at that. Channel. That completes the slam on Lake Greenwood. He's feisty too. That completes our slam out here today. It was first time I've ever done that on Greenwood. Nice little channel cat. We got a flathead, a blue, and a channel. It's the first time I've ever done that on this lake out here. We thank you, sir. Yeah, in the fall when these fish start to pull up a little bit, when the water temperature gets in the around the low 80s to 80, the shadows start to move up in the back of these things, and the fish will follow them. In the early morning time, I've been finding the fish out on the main river run out there. It's shad everywhere in the morning time, but when it gets to about 11 o'clock or so, they'll leave away, and I've been finding them up on these flats. Most of what I've caught up on these things has been channel cats, and that's what I was actually targeting, was another fish to finish out that slam. I mean, it's a rare thing on this lake, but if you don't do any good out on the main part, don't be afraid to pull up in there shallow. We are in 3.4 feet of water. That fish probably bit somewhere around 4.5, 5 feet deep. So don't be afraid to try that shallow. I call it skinny water. Don't be afraid to get the bottom of your feet wet. Let your legs stay dry. That's some good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm fishing chicken. It's just a plain piece of chicken breast. I actually raised chickens at the house, and this was a piece of one that we raised that something actually got the thing in the grow out pen a couple days before we were gonna process them. Something got it, so I just breasted it out, took the thighs and the legs off of it, threw it in a bag and froze it. And I'll hold these things froze, and it'll keep your chicken a whole lot longer. I'll show you what I do with them right here in a second. But I usually just take a knife, cut me a chunk off. We're mainly fishing for channel cats. So I got a piece about big as your thumb. We're gonna hook it back up out here, and this bait, I will keep it. I just keep it in the cooler. I got it down in here with a couple bottles of water, a couple of just Gatorade bottles that somebody gave me some more ice packs to go in it. I just keep it on there to let your chicken last a lot longer, and it seems to work just as good to me. So we're just gonna hook this back on here, and that's a tip to kind of give you a little way to kind of save a little bit of money on it, man. Chicken's starting to get higher and higher. I mean, it's not gold, but every dime counts. With the fuel prices where they at, every penny counts. Let's see if we can hook that fish. I don't know if he still got the thing or not. He pulled on it a couple good hard licks and let it go, I believe. Yep, let it go. I see it back there in the water. Yeah, I pulled on him just a little bit too fast right there. I can see the floating stuff come up in the water. We are 2.5 feet. That fish is about probably 3 feet deep. I don't know whether that was a gar or what, but he put a mauling on our brim head. We're gonna change that out and put another piece of brim on this thing. I'm only gonna fish about another hour, so we're just gonna put another piece on this and make this turn right here. I'm gonna turn and take us back out of here. I'm gonna try to show you how to turn. There's a big brush pile back here. I don't want to get up in it. But we up in the back. Water's really shallow here. So we're gonna try to make a turn. On the inside, you need to pull your planer boards up really close to the boat. I'll pull it up all the way up to the side, and I got 3 rods just dragging straight behind the boat. This one in the middle. I'm gonna reel it up pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick the trolling motor up. wide open. And we're gonna make this turn right here. We got enough room. When you turn with all this stuff behind you, your lines are hanging down and they will cross over each other. Not where they touching at, but they'll cross each other. One of them will go under the other one, and then when you go to straighten out, many times they'll get hung up and tangle you up in a big old giant knot. So once we're gonna make this big wide turn here. And I turned the motor up to kind of keep the boards and stuff apart. And you reel the inside board up because it's gonna come back in closer to you. It's gonna sit still, and it's one that'll usually tangle you up in a big old giant knot. If you hadn't done a lot of turning like this, then you're gonna wanna make sure when you get straightened back out that if your lines don't look exactly like they're supposed to, you're gonna need to reel them back in, check them, make sure they're not tangled. It's hard enough to get a bite as it is without your lines being tied together in a big old giant knot back there and you not know it. You see in the back here, we're pulling these boards right here so hard that they popping up out of the water. See how these lines, I don't know whether y'all can see them or not. We got one right here, one right there, and the one I reeled up close is right up under here. If I hadn't of, it would be right in between them, and it will be up under this line. And when you straighten out, more times than not, when you're fishing a sand-tee rig, it will tangle you up in a knot. So we're gonna make a turn on up right here. We're gonna bring our speed back down. Reset our autopilot. And once we get straightened out here, we'll see if we can, if we actually got away with it or not. When you run this autopilot, you got to watch it, make sure that you're gonna actually turn. Because if you got it on cruise control and the boat's moving forward faster than what you got it set for, it won't run the motor to make it turn. So sometimes you got to cut that part off and just give it a little extra speed right here to make this turn. I got a snag coming up right here. We're gonna try to bypass this thing, see can we get by without hitting it. All right, we're starting to get straightened back out here, and I don't know whether y'all can see this on the back or not, but I got two planers back there, and we got this snag right here. So when I come up on something like that, one of the tricks I've learned is to just grab the line and pull this outside board up where we know it's gonna clear this snag. I just keep pulling it. If you pull a little faster on it, it'll pop it out of the water and let you pull it flat without planing. So we're gonna just make sure we can get by the snag. We come right by the end of it. Pull it a little bit farther. I see a piece sticking out up under the water. I'm sure you can't see it on the camera there. So we're gonna set our autopilot back on 5/10, a half a mile an hour, 0.5, and pull on out through here. We're gonna let this guy drop back right here. When it gets right before that board right there, you need to stop it and let it pull out away from it. You remember the line for this one is way back on the far side of that snag. It's still back where the board was when I started dragging it. So I just work it back till it just about gets to that board. Work it back. Every time you pump it like this, it'll go a little farther off to the side. I'll work that thing till I get it over the top of that board. And as soon as I get it over that board, you can let go of it and let it go back to where it was at. All right, we're gonna look back out the back right here. If you look, the line's right here on this rod and the line's right over here on that rod. So it looks like we got away with that without tangling it. But if we look right down here, you see this line's going straight back, and it's possible that it could be up under that line. So we're gonna reel this planer board back in and set it back up and throw it back out there again. This is just a way where you can turn, whether you're in deep water or shallow water. But if you're in shallow water, you really got to pay attention or it will mess you up in just a minute. And when you get all this stuff tangled up, you ain't having no fun, I promise you that. Yeah, with these planer boards, I just clip it on. I like to wrap it over the top of the board. It'll make a squeaking sound when something starts pulling on it. And a lot of times, that's what cues me that there's a bite, is I hear the board squeaking in the water back there. That wet closed cell foam, it'll make a squeaking sound when that monofilament pulls across the top of it. So there ought to be enough line to get us going. We're gonna set it down in the rod holder and let it come up to speed right here. And we're gonna pull back across where we come across these fish. We come across a bunch of fish back here a while ago. We're gonna pull back across that area one more time, and we're gonna run one more spot. I got about 45 minutes before I'm gonna have to leave. We're gonna run one more place and we're gonna call it a day. Little baby channel cat. Little baby channel. Get the boat line back up here. Oh, getting hit again somewhere else. I hear the board squeaking. Yeah, this little dude right here mess you up. You got to be careful with these guys. Once they get some size on them, they ain't got all that armor. When they small like that, that joker's sharp right there. Tiny guy. We'll take him though. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your business. Yeah, we got hit on one of these boards over here, but I don't know which one it was. Yeah, that fish come on that piece of chicken. I'm gonna cut another one and put another one on there, and we're gonna pull it a few more minutes. I got about 20 minutes left, and I'm gonna have to shoot the gap on you. He was jerking on that board, dude. He's still pulling on this thing like he's a big guy. I think he thinks he's grown, but I don't think he's that big, really. We're about to get him up here and see, ain't we? Bad little channel. There's some much bigger channel cats in this lake. Ah, quick release. He looked out. That sucker looked out and escaped. That one come on a little small piece of bluegill. We're going to send him back out there and see what we can get out of him. Well guys, I'd like to thank you for joining me here on Whisker Pigs Fishing today. We had a pretty good day. Like I said earlier, my first ever Grand Slam or trifecta, whatever you want to call it. I caught a flathead, a blue, and a channel cat. And the thing that makes that so special here on Lake Greenwood is it doesn't have very, very few blue cats in it. The DNR will tell you there's none in here whatsoever. But as we see, there are a few. And it wasn't even a bad one. It was a fairly nice sized fish. We caught a few more channels. We've had a good day, looked at some new areas, fished a little bit different than I usually do, and actually, I'll take it. Oh, we may be getting hit right here behind us. No, he didn't bite. So I thank you for joining me today. I'd just like to invite you to subscribe to our page, to give us a like if you learned anything there. Hit the little bell so you'll get notified when we put up more stuff. We're starting to get back in the swing of it after that long down of the boat there. It was down for a good long while, like a 3 months plus, but we're starting to figure out what's happening with the fish again and getting back into catching them again. So stay tuned, come on along with me, and have a great time. And as always, have a great day, and God bless.